I've been feeling like a renegade, somebody save me. Standing in the midst of the crowd, but nobody sees me. Shouting at the top of my lungs, but nobody hears me. All in the name of love, look what you made me. I've been praying for the rain to fall, wash me down so I breathe more. Open heavens, let it pour. You can love me again, again, again. You better love me again.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the SimZone. We are here for the first round of the new Touring Car Championship here on the SimZone. My name's Kelly Davis, I'm your commentator, and I am joined in the commentary box by Killian, aka Green Pies. Good evening, mate, you alright?
Good evening, Kelly. I am great. I'm glad to be back in the commentary box with you again.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too as well. When G told me that I was commentating with you this evening, I was over the moon about that. Best news all day for sure. Just before we get started, and welcome along to everyone who's watching us, please do press the like button and things like that. Before we get too far into this evening's proceedings, we just need to talk about the tragic happenings at Brands Hatch Indy, where we are this evening, earlier in the weekend, when an unfortunate incident in a touring car race, a classic touring car race, meant that a marshal unfortunately lost his life in a tragic accident. As all the motorsport community has been up and down the, all over the world, has been paying tribute to the marshal that lost his life. We're going to do exactly the same, and we're going to do that right now with a minute's silence in respect of the marshal who lost his life. So if we could just, all you guys there, just respect the minute's silence just while we do it now. One minute of silence in respect of the marshal who tragically lost his life at Brands Hatch Indy over the weekend. We know the marshals do such a fantastic job, and without them we couldn't go racing. So all our love and best wishes to the family of that gentleman who lost his life. Anyway, moving on. New championship this evening here on the SimZone, Touring Car Championship. Now, Killian, we haven't got long to chit-chat because this is a qualifying session, and we need to have a chit-chat about what we're doing and what the format is this evening, shouldn't we?
Yeah, well, you're the one that knows the format more than I do.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a print out that to give me an idea of the race format. So I'll run through it with you, and then we can talk about some of the drivers, and we can talk about some of the cars as well. And right, so we're going to be doing a 3-race format this evening. So 3 main races. Race 1 is going to come along in about 3 minutes or so. This is actually, for the rest of the season, will be a practice session, but to get us started, this 10-minute session will be a qualifying session. So they're working out the order for the first race. The first race this evening will be a 20-minute sprint, lights to flag. We'll then go into race 2, where the guys will get a 5-minute practice session. Then the race will be started on a random starting grid, so completely computer generated starting grid, and it will be another 20-minute sprint race. Then finally, we're going to have a third race, which will have a 10-minute qualification and will be a 35-minute race with a mandatory pit stop involved. Pit window will be between a quarter and halfway through the race and will be announced before we get to that one. That will be the third race. So, have you got all that, Killian?
Yeah, I got all that. It's the exact same format that the Clio Cup goes in, and I remember doing commentary on that on Tuesday night, and it threw up some really good battles closer to the end of the race.
Absolutely. So that's our format for this evening. As I said, we've only got a couple of minutes. This next week will be a practice session, because next week they will line up in reverse grid order of championship order. So if, for example, John Boy wins this race or wins this round, all three races, if he ends up leading the championship at the end of this round, next week he will start at the back, and the person at the bottom of the championship will start on pole. Was that clear enough?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And one thing that I really like, especially in the Clios, is the random grid order. It's not something you ever see in a league, really, because it just throws up so much what if and how's this going to happen.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what we want as spectators and commentators. We've got 20 people watching at the moment. Please hit the like button. We are at Brands Hatch Indy, so this is the short track. So, have we got somebody's hit somebody?
There was a few accidents.
There's someone, Paddock Hill Bend, someone just had an incident that I saw on my screen. Me and Killian are watching different feeds at the moment, but we'll try and keep you up to date with the action as much as we possibly can. As I said, Brands Hatch Indy, we're into the last minute of the race. We haven't even talked about who's even here. Who have we got on provisional pole at the moment? We've got
at the moment we've got ESR Chef, and I was in a practice lobby before this with a few of these drivers, and with Chef and Delore, two that I definitely remember, and these two are fast. I know some of these guys from other leagues and raced some of them, and Killian, you're the same. You know most of these guys and have raced them as well. So there's some characters. I don't know ESR Chef, I must admit. So he's looking quick and racy. So I'm looking forward to seeing him on track. But some of the others I'm well aware of, and we got some quick guys in there for sure. Yeah, and just one thing that I think we should quickly do before the race starts is thank our patrons. I have a full list here.
Go for it.
And I'll just quickly thank all of them. In the SimZone, we've got ESR Chef, the man that's on provisional pole. We've got XmecOnline, Ratchet17, Delore7. I can never pronounce this. I think it's XandaFlanda. Then in the Zone Expert, we've got MotoringMorgan, Camber, Road Racing is Live, Duke Martin, M. Afford 4560, Valeside Racing 77, and then in the Zone Master we have got The Wall, also known as Jan, we've got Windsor 102, we've got Kenny 2020-21, and Thelazycamel. And I don't know if that's the most up-to-date list, but that is the list that I have at the moment.
Okay, that's
it is the most up-to-date.
It is the most up-to-date list. Excellent. So, I believe it's coming up on your screen as well. So,
yes.
Yeah, that's clever, isn't it? Eh?
Very high-tech.
Clever, yeah. I was going to get to the chat, but this session is over, and it is ESR Chef who is the quickest man round here. And look how close these times are. 47.0 for him, and Sam Thumthinger is in second place, John Boy in third. Dehuis Rocker, or the House Rocker if you pronounce it in the right way, is in fourth. Delore in five. Gary 131 in sixth. Grandad Steve's seventh. Fury is in eighth. Ninth is Vigla. 10th is Melted Dazza. That's your top 10. So there we go. We have a top 10. We have a grid order for the first race. Hello to everyone in the chat this evening. We'll get to talking to some of you as we go on through. But if you're there just watching, just give us a hi. And Matthew Duffin saying that he misses me. Miss you too, babe. And some other ones. The Wall in there, and Fury's mum, Fury's granddad. Evil Scotsman, a lot of the usual suspects. We'll try and speak about some of your comments as we get them in through, but things are moving on quite quickly this evening already, aren't they? You know?
Yeah, well, Kelly, I'm not sure how much time we're going to have to talk, because from first all the way down to 14th was covered by 8/10.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. So, yeah, it's a very short track here. As we know, only a couple of corners. Real quick is Brands Indy, but yeah, very, very close. And yeah, before we get started, Killian, who's your favourite for the win, and who's your tip for maybe the championship?
The championship, I've got no idea. But who I think is going to win is Chef. Who I'd like to see win is probably Grandad Steve. I think he's a big underdog.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to say that my money's probably on John Boy for the overall win, or maybe Gary 131. Yeah, but there's other guys. Dolores quick, we know that. Fury, we've been racing with Fury in a season-long battle over on Simplay. He's improved, so he's going to be one to watch as well. So, but looks like we're readying up. Looks like we're nearly ready to go. It's ESR on pole. No, my screen's. We are underway by the looks of it.
And we are
the
off.
lights. Yeah, when lights go out and we're away. Who's that? Is that Delore with a really quick
that's
start?
The House Rocker.
The House Rocker, was it? He had a really quick start off the line, but it's looking like ESR has kept hold of it. Paddock Hill Bend, look out for any argy-bargy through here, because this is where it's going to come. But Sam having a look up the inside as they come round for the first time, and it's the House Rocker in third place in those. He's in the RAC colours, is he? Certainly the orange BMW there in third place. So looks like a very clean start, Killian.
Yeah, everyone seems to have made it round pretty cleanly. There wasn't really any bumps going round turn one.
Absolutely, no. They're all very clean start. Those of you who know this Touring Car Championship will notice that there's no Renault Megans out there. That's because they're barred. Because the Renault Megane is far too quick. So got a lot of BMWs and Mercedes and Astras in this championship, as ESR gets all a bit squiggly under the as it goes down
Sam
Paddock Hill Bend.
Dunfinger's looking around the outside.
Absolutely, can't go round there. It's a bit of a long way round to go round there on the outside, but certainly giving him pressure. And everyone really close at the moment, as we said, no real incidents. So good clean start from everyone, and being very dominated by BMWs right at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. The top, the top 4 are all BMWs.
Yes, indeed. So we'll see how the season pans out. The BMW, when it does race against Renault Megane, gets a little bit outpaced as House Rocker gone back a bit. Gary's gone up.
Yeah, Gary seems to have overtaken the House Rocker at some point. I think the House Rocker just either had a slowdown, but it doesn't matter, because they're actually getting a bit argy-bargy back there now.
Yes, it looks like it. Yeah, I'm following. Where am I following?
Dolores just lost the position to John Boy whenever he was tapping the back of the House Rocker there.
Yes, indeed. And yeah, I've just jumped onto that battle now. So it's a very close battle from fourth back to, well, probably back to the end almost. You know, the top two have kind of pulled away a little bit. Got a couple of seconds over Gary now. So Gary's got to play a bit of catch up now, hasn't he, Killian?
Yeah, I think Sam Thunfinger, I think he's looking to go up the inside of turn one, but he's just not close enough. You can see that he's telling Chef that he's there, but he's just not close enough to make the position up. Yep,
quite right. He's not close enough this time. Good opportunity at the I can't remember what that corner's called, the one at the top of the hill there, but one of the best opportunities around Brands, because it's so short. There's not too many opportunities to overtake, but the last corner is another one. If you can get your nose up the inside on the last corner, you can get a chance to overtake there. I'm still watching Sam at the moment, and he's all over the back of Chef. I don't know what's called. We'd call ESR Chef. We're gonna have to abbreviate it.
I just call him Chef.
Chef sounds good, doesn't it? We'll go with Chef. Yeah, why not? Chef it is.
Well, if you're in a Mercedes, you can overtake at any corner. That's a fact.
Is that correct? Is it?
Yeah. It doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that the opponent's going to make it around the corner, but you will.
Oh, okay. Okay, sounding all a little bit political there, Killian.
Getting way too political here in the commentary box.
There's been an awful lot of incidents up and down the motorsport family life races this weekend. Been crashes in everything, and if you haven't watched the Grand Prix already, then I'm really sorry, because we probably will talk about it. And if you haven't seen the touring car today, I am sorry, because we probably will talk about it. You know,
and if you haven't seen the 24 Hours of Spa, we might talk about that too.
We probably might talk about it. I believe there was a horrendous crash in that one as well.
Yeah, it was a huge crash.
Yeah, I'm hoping everyone was all right in that one. Somebody sent me a clip of it, a big one at the top of Eau Rouge, I think.
Yes.
At Spa, 24 Hours. Touring car, there was accidents in every single race. The touring car, there was a big one in the mini challenge, where somebody lost control, bounced off the Armco back across the track. If you get an opportunity to look at back, everyone's absolutely fine, but hell of a crash. Also, Formula One, as we know, as I said, if you haven't seen it, then there was a sizable first lap incident and multiple cars out. So we'll end up talking more about that, won't we, Killian?
Yeah,
I'm sure we will.
Definitely will. We both have our opinions on it.
Yeah, I think it's a very similar opinion. We're both gutted with the outcome, to be fair, you know. So if you haven't seen it, as I said, we'll probably best you not watch for the rest of the racing. But we'd rather you didn't, because there's some great touring car action going on out on the track at the moment. Excuse me. I'm watching John Boy, who's very close on the back of the House Rocker.
Yeah, I was just watching Sam Thumbfinger, who seems to be getting closer and closer, but
yeah, he does.
John Boy seems to have lost a wee bit of time in that Union Jack covered BMW.
Yeah, he was my tip for the win and my tip for the championship, to be honest. And I'll apologise to him now, because that's obviously going to ruin his championship and his race, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, well, there's still 14 minutes for Chef to have a huge crash, and the commentator's curse to go into him from me. So, you know, anything's possible.
And the commentator's curse is real. It's a real thing. It happens a lot.
100% real.
Absolutely.
I 100% agree with you. It's definitely a real thing. We'll quickly look at penalties here. Melted Dazzler has a 1 second time penalty. Final Guest has a 2 second time penalties, and Ugbar has a 3 second time penalty.
So corner cutting is going on out there. Of course, they don't have to do a pit stop in this race. It's a sprint all the way to the end, because so these little penalties are going to have an impact at the end of it. Just going on to the chat, Evil Scotsman, which I believe is Emo Guy, is it not?
I think it is, yes.
Yeah, a question for you guys. What are your thoughts on the incident that happened at this very track yesterday? Well, we were talking about that, Ian, just off air, and, you know, as there was a fatality, I don't want to talk about it too much, but the car, part of the incident I saw, the car basically only run wide and got caught up in the fencing, which kind of catapulted the car into the marshal stand. So I think we need to look at some of these systems to stop the car. Really, the car just needed to run along a barrier or something like that and not get caught up in the fencing. So maybe that's something to look at improving track safety. So my opinion is that type of fencing needs looking at, really. Killian, what about you? What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, well, I remember I watched it this morning just because I didn't really know about it happening yesterday. I woke up to the news this morning and I saw a video and it just gave me goosebumps. Yeah,
it was an unnecessary. As I said, the car only went wide. The guy ran onto the grass, was pushed onto the grass or whatever, and that's what kind of snowballed the incident. Any injuries to anyone is not what we're looking for in any type of motorsport. So once again, that's our feeling on it anyway.
Yeah, I think we've been focused so much on driver safety in motorsport, which is great. We're still using the exact same safety stuff for marshals that they used like 100 years ago.
Yeah, although, I mean, the track safety has improved over the years. I remember many years ago there was a Formula One race that at Monza, where there was an accident and a wheel went up over and killed a marshal when the wheel hit him in the chest. And motorsport is dangerous. We do all know that. But I think again, incidents like happened this weekend just need us to look at track safety a little bit further.
Yeah, well, there's a battle going on for P1 right now between
Yes.
Chef and Sam. Sam has been pushing Chef through the past few corners, and I think it's only I think it's only a matter of time before Sam just waits for Chef to make a mistake and just goes up the inside or around the outside and just takes that position.
Well, yes, you say that, but Chef might do an Ocon today and just hold him at bay. If you haven't seen the Grand Prix, spoilers. Ocon
won. Yeah.
Ocon won. Yeah. So and Vettel chased him all the whole race. So he did drive a fantastic race. To be fair, we've got other questions as well. It's like question night tonight, is it?
Well, Sam Thumbfinger's going up the inside.
Oh, look, there he goes.
Sam Thumbfinger's alongside. They're going alongside down the main straight. He is going to have the inside line.
He's going to the inside line. Yes, he is. You're quite right. He's going to have the inside line as they come to Paddock Hill Bend. I think he's got this one.
Side by side. No, they're going side by side through turn one, but Chef just has to give it the position. There was no way he was going to be able to hold that.
Absolutely.
I knew it was a matter of time.
Yep, so Sam's got it done, and you called it for sure. Sam's got it done. Let's see where Chef goes from here. Is he going to come back at him? He's going to regroup and have another go. You got Gary in the middle there. Gary's very, very good in this BMW. He's a touring car champion in a previous league and a multi-champion in GT3s as well. So keep an eye on Gary in third place because he's going to be a real contender. He knows this BMW and he knows the tracks. So keep an eye on him for sure.
Yeah, well, Gary may not be up there winning this race right now. He is an extremely consistent driver in these touring cars, and consistency is more important than trying to win every race and having the possibility of having a huge crash and then losing your points.
Yes, indeed. As I said, there's all kinds of questions coming in on the chat. Thoughts on P9 for Russell?
Very happy.
Thoughts? Yeah, very happy. Again, if you didn't see it, spoilers. Russell came 9th. But Latifi came 8th, so points scoring for Williams this weekend, which is good for the team, and we like to see Williams doing well. As Bottas sealed his fate this weekend by his mistake into the start of the Grand Prix, has he sealed his fate? You wonder.
Well, like I said before, off air, I think he's just sealed the deal and kept his seat at Mercedes by taking out the Red Bulls.
Well, we're probably a difference of opinion on that one, and we'll see how that plays out. But George Russell in the car would be in that Mercedes. I think is the logical next step for the Mercedes team. But
if Bottas has a seat at Mercedes next year, we all know why.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, conspiracy theories everywhere. Gotta love it, isn't it?
Gotta love conspiracy theories in F1.
Gotta love conspiracy theories. So 8 minutes left in this race. It's Sam that's winning now, or in the lead, should I say, from Chef. But Chef hasn't. Sam hasn't dropped Chef, has he? Nothing like it.
No, he's definitely not. I'm sure the draft in these cars are also extremely useful because they're basically just bricks. They look like they're not the most aerodynamically sound cars. So if one's in front of you, it's really going to be punching a huge hole in the air for you. Absolutely,
and it's certainly Chef hasn't given this one up in the slightest. He's all over the back of Sam as they come up to the top of the course again, and broken away a bit from Gary. As I said, Gary's still there and he's still doing. They're all in the 47s, 48s, consistent lap times, but. Gary can't seem to do anything about the leading two at the moment. John Boy in 4th, who's going slowly, funnily enough, as I just flip back to him, has just been overtaken by the house rocker. I wonder if he's got a slowdown.
Must have had a slowdown there.
Yeah. If you have a slowdown on the format that we use here, so basically what that means, if you don't know what we're talking about, if you run wide, you get a slowdown, is what they're called. Basically, a screen. The most annoying noise known to man happens, and it goes ping like that, and you just look at it and go, and it just says to you to slow down. So what you have to do is give the time back that you gained, and then you won't get a penalty.
Ooh. Chef getting a wee bit wobbly coming out of the last corner and nearly went into the pit lane by accident.
Yeah, I missed that one, but oh yeah, just seen it on the stream. Yeah, good save by Chef there, absolutely. Are his tyres beginning to suffer a little bit, I wonder?
Well, whenever I was in the test race with them, I was using the Opel, and the front left tyres were just burning up.
It can be. They can be really hard on the tyres. So I wonder if that's what's happening to Chef there. I wonder if his tyres are going off just a little bit, because Sam seems to have gapped him a little bit again. He kind of
he's drifting.
Hold on to it.
Corner.
Yes, indeed. I hope he's not doing that to show.
Lovely drift.
It was a lovely drift. Yeah, looked almost too good to be a mistake, but he certainly held on to it. This is giving Gary an opportunity to see the back of Chef on this one. So. Our Chef's tyres going off a little bit. We will certainly see if that gets worse.
Yeah,
sure.
Well, I think there's a battle going on between John Boy and the House Rocker for 4th place. John Boy is chasing down the House Rocker.
Yes, he had to concede a place just a moment ago, which we think was slow down. As I was saying about that, if you run wide, the computer tells you have the opportunity then to give the time back. And you won't get a penalty for track limits. As we see in the background, who's that? Delore, I think, going very deep. He has a penalty, yeah, as do. As you see on your screen, you'll see a red mark by the names on the list. If they've got a red mark to them, that means that's a penalty. And as you'll see on your screen now, I can't read that because I've got the right glasses on. But the penalties are there in front of you, and who's got what. It's usually a penalty is usually 1 or 2 seconds if you don't abide by the slowdown. The problem with the slowdowns is, and again, anyone who's played and all the sim racers who've played, is that you seem to, you seem to end up giving back loads more time than you gained in the first place, and sometimes it can really be quite a deficit. So
I guess that's a punishment for going wide.
That's the punishment. That's absolutely right. And this is the kind of you spin your wheel and you take the choice, because if you go on, then you take a penalty, a second or a 2 second or whatever, and that could be a better penalty than having to back off so long to get the slowdown to go off your screen. You can lose 3-4 seconds trying to get rid of it when you could only take a 1 second penalty. So it's how you deal with it once you get one, really.
Yeah, I know. Usually, whenever I got a slowdown, I just drove through it.
Well, that's the choice you make, and it's. I say sometimes that can just be the best way. Take the penalty, take it on the chin, and try to work harder to compensate for it. Really,
it can be quite a strategic thing, especially if it's in like a much longer race. You've got the choice to take the penalty, but also you'll have to live with that for the rest of the race, or not take the penalty, slow down, and just hope someone else gets the penalty. Yeah, absolutely, and it's the same for everyone. Everyone on the track works by exactly the same rules. So it's for you as the driver to keep it inside the white lines. Yeah, the difference between this game and IRL FIA is this game is at least consistent. Right, yeah. Once again, getting too political. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, a little bit. John Boy up the inside of the house rocker at the last corner. Yeah, I'm watching it. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and the house rocker gets a bit... gets the backhand out a little bit as well, so I think that's job done for John Boy. He needs to keep it within those white lines so he doesn't have to back off it again. And the house rocker has a time penalty of 2 seconds. Yeah, so John Boy just needs to keep it cool and keep him behind him now to the end of the race. What race should we go watch now? Grandad Steve seems to be chasing down Vliegrick. Yeah, Vligra.
or Fly as he likes to be called. I've commentated on these two guys. Vliga and Delore are brothers, and I got to remember now, Belgium I think they're from. And I think I saw Kurt V in the chat. He'll tell me because he's mates with them. So I'm sure he'll pop up in the chat and tell me that's correct. I believe that all the guys from Belgium, Team Camber, a few guys, that's right.
As we see, Greta C going right up the inside of Vlieg.
Yeah, what was that all about?
I don't know. I think Vlieg must have had a slowdown. He must have gone a little bit wide there. He was flashing his lights.
Yeah, well, either that or he stopped to message me. I don't know. You know.
Text and drive. Do not text and drive.
No, don't text and drive. Don't drink and drive either, because you might spill it.
Yeah.
So, what was I talking about? Team Camber. Delore Vikla, Kurt V, and who's the other one? There's another one in it. I can't think what his name is off the top of my head right now, but as I said, I'm sure I saw Kurt V in the chat, so I'm sure he'll put me right on all that in a minute.
Grandad just after getting Piopni.
Yeah, fight for the lead. Fight for the lead, Killian again. Chef's come right up back on the back of Sam. Sam had a 50.5 last lap round. So did he make a mistake is what I'm thinking, because he lost, we're lapping in the 47th, 48, so he must have lost a couple of seconds. I think it must have been a mistake from Sam, don't you?
Yeah, well, it looked like Chef really made up all that time through turn one, so maybe Sam just went a wee bit too deep. Maybe his front tyres are kind of giving up and he just went too deep into turn one, went onto the gravel.
Is this going to be the end of the race? Got 5 seconds left in the session. Is that going to be... No, we're going to go another lap. We're going to go another lap.
Pits. We just haven't seen the pit crew come out.
Grandad Steve.
Someone.
Grandad Steve's in the pits.
I wonder, did he not have enough... Oh, he's retired.
Oh, what was that all about?
I don't... Maybe he's run out of fuel.
Maybe, yeah.
Very easy to do. As we can see, Chef only has 0.4 litres. Sam actually has 7.9, but yeah, Chef only has 0.3. He's not going to make it to the end.
Oh, is he backing off now? Has he dropped it into lean mode?
Gary is going to be pushing like hell. Chef only has 0.2. What an end. But Sam is going to come across the line and take the win easily. Chef is the one to be watching right now. Gary is doing a Max Verstappen at Silverstone.
Yep.
The Silverstone where Lewis went on 3 tires. But Chef runs out of fuel just at the line to take 2nd place. Gary to take 3rd. John Boy 4th. De Huis Rocker 5th. Craig to come around in the Mercedes and take 6th. Malta Desert to take 7th. And then a wee bit further back, Delore is in 8th place. Piopni is in... Poopney.
Yeah, Poopney, it's a hard one to say. Poopney
is in 9th with Vlieg, actually being put down to 11th. Fury up into 10th. Ugbar in 12th. Falgas has run out of fuel. Falgas has run out of fuel in 13th place. Windsor is going to come across the line a lap down, I believe. But he will be 14th place. Yeah, Falgas. That is 2 drivers running out of fuel effectively. So yeah, that was quite a race.
Yes, indeed. So yes, as we said, Sam Thumbfinger is your winner and of the first round. So first blood to Sam. Very close battle between him and Chef. Rounding up your top 3 is Gary 131. That's your top 3 from the first race. I believe we might be taking a break just for a few minutes while we just have a drink and comfort break and all the rest of it. And we'll be back with race 2. We've got a 5-minute practice, then it'll be a random grid, qualification grid, and a 20-minute sprint race coming your way very, very shortly. Stick with us. Have a cup of tea, have a go to the loo, whatever you need to do. Come back and join us in just a few minutes.
I don't know where I am, I don't know where you take me, I don't know where you take me. I just follow your trail and I'm losing your mind and I'm losing your head. Let me escape from this love, cause I'm a prisoner. I just want to look my way and never back to you. I'm not about let me be myself. I'm not about around to look my way and never back to you. Ooh, I'm not above, but let me be myself. I'm not above, but let me be myself. Let me be myself. Let me be myself. Let me be myself. I'm not above it. Let me be myself. I'm not above it. Let me be myself.
Falling apart when you're so far. You're the only thing that I can't lose. I can't lose. You filled in the cracks, didn't know I had. Melting my heart from the broken glass. Now in every part of me, it's you. And I don't want nobody else closer than you, closer than you. I can't let it
national. Uber ride in my house, caught a taxi. I'm picky with my women, I'm deciding. Call me to your payment, I'm sliding. I'm picky with my women, I'm deciding. Call me.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Race 2 of the first meeting of the season here, SimZone's Touring Car League. We are at Brands Hatch Indy, and we've just had a 5-minute practice off air, and this is a random grid, this one, Killian, and
I think we should quickly go through the grid order.
Yeah, very quickly. Yeah, do it.
We were literally talking about this off air, and I said it's going to be funny if Chef gets put on pole, and well, Chef got put on pole, and I said that it would also be funny if Windsor got put on pole as well, and well, Windsor's in second.
Yeah.
So
Have you got inside information or what?
I don't know. I think it's just the commentator's luck this time. Grandad Stee is in 3rd place. Delore is in 4th. Sam Thumbfinger got put in 5th. Malta Desert in 6th. Ugbar got put in 7th. Falgast in 8th. John Boy all the way down in 9th place. Fury in 10th. Poopney, Piopney, Jelly. Man of many names in 11th place. Vligric in 12th. Craig in 13th. The House Rocker in 14th. Lauder, who wasn't in the first race, has just shown up for this race in 15th. Gary in 16th. That is going to be kicking the teeth for him. But as we're just syncing up now.
Yes, indeed. Gary got to do a lot of work from the back, but the lights are out and we are away. And cracking start from whoever was in Mercedes. Grandad Steve seemed to look like he got a quick getaway, but it wasn't quite so much as they go down into turn 1. And it's Chef. Here we go.
There's been 3 spins.
Oh, and there's one went across it. There's still carnage. Still carnage going on down there at the bottom of Paddock Hill Bend. And the House Rocker with significant damage to his Mercedes, BMW.
The House Rocker was upside down at one point.
Absolutely, I know how that feels. And absolute chaos in the first corner at the bottom of Paddock Hill Bend, and a lot of cars having to spin around. Oh, as we see Fury having a tap with one of the another one of the BMWs. That was a tap
Pupney.
with. Yeah, Pupney is Chutney. And so Fury all over the back of him. So bit of pushing and shoving in this first one, Killian, don't you think?
Yeah, well, this is it's touring cars, and the faster drivers have been mixed in with the not the slower drivers, but the not as fast drivers is the politically correct term, I guess. But Fury going around the outside of Pupney, he makes the move stiff.
Absolutely, and Fury just won the GT3 Pro-Am Championship over on Simplay. Been racing him all season. I say racing him. We're on the same track. We're on the same track. We're on the same track. That was for certain, sure. So Fury, one to watch out for. I'm expecting to see him on podiums and even wins in this season as we go on through the season. Just to recap what we were talking about beforehand, as they're all reasonably spaced out at the moment. So we can go back just to what we were saying about Delore and Team Camber. So that's Delore, it's Vigla, Pupney and Kurt V. That's the 4 that make up Team Camber. And yes, they are all from Belgium. And we were talking about off air what a Belgian person would be, what you call them. And we just looked it up, and it's Flemish, isn't it? It depends which part of Belgium you're from, but they are all Flemish if they're from the northern
John Boy
of Belgium.
is just overtaken Delore.
He certainly has. Made a nice move as they went up the hill. Kurt V will put me right if I'm right or wrong about that Flemish thing. But John Boy, so where is he? He's up into 3rd place. Absolutely. So making the best of this one. Can he hunt down? Well, we've got Melted Dazzers in 2nd. I'm sure John Boy can hunt him down. Another 20-minute session, this one. So another sprint race. No mandatory pit stop as Delore goes wide and Falgast gets up the inside through Paddock Hill Bend and moves himself into 4th place. So
this race is definitely throwing a few more spanners in the work for the faster drivers than the last race.
Yes, indeed. Kurt V in the chat. Jelly is his surname. Is Pupney his first name? I don't know. Anyway,
that's quite an odd first name, I must say.
Well, yeah, these things do happen, Killian and Kelly. You know, So, you know,
Yeah,
it's not exactly
you're a
Peter and
guy.
Dave, is it? You know,
yeah, you're a guy named Kelly.
yeah, it happens, mate. It happens. You know, yeah. I don't know if you noticed that, but yeah, it's yeah. Thanks.
There's a guy I went to school with, and his first name was Trevor, but the name that everyone called him by was Good News.
Good news.
Good News.
What was that? Why did they call him Good News?
I don't know.
Oh,
But that
great!
was- that
I
was
thought there was going to be a
illegal.
point to your story there. I thought it was going to be a witty outcome, but guess not. But
That's just his name. Good News.
right, good news. Yeah, wow, yeah, could be better than some things. So I was called all sorts at school. It's yeah, you know, not actually all sorts, but you know, yeah, not like licorice or anything, you know, but yeah. Okay, so we're 5 minutes into race one, and it's all turned to mush, and it all turned to complete mush, and we're already talking about complete nonsense. So it's Chef out in front again, and he's doing a stellar job there to keep Melted Dazza honest. He was a second and a half back, but John Boy's on a charge, and he's looking to take that second place, and he's getting really close. In that corner, and he's going to try and take this off him as they come down over the start finish straight again. Oh no, yeah, nice shot. I love this shot. You can see right on the back Ben and Jerry's on the sponsorship, and look at that as we get right down low. John Boy's going to try. Oh, they touched there. John Boy's hold on to it. Yes, he has. They had a little bit of rubbing there, and rubbing's racing. You know that, don't we?
In the touring cars, rubbing is definitely racing.
Oh, everywhere rubbing's racing.
As long
Everywhere.
as it's not too much.
Well, this is it, isn't it? This is the fine line between rubbing and being horrible. You know, so yeah, absolutely.
Bob Boss, take notes.
Yes, again, yeah. You can tell whose side that Killian is on. And how he feels about it, but the Formula One was Bottas. He's already put his hands up to it. If you haven't seen it, spoilers, there was a crash.
John Boy just lovely overtake
didn't
on
he?
the inside there, but he's got a wee bit too much to that curb, but he made it work.
Absolutely, went down the inside and got the job done on Melted Dazza. He can now set his sights on Chef, who's 2.5 seconds in front with 13 minutes to go. He's got plenty of time to get on that one, hasn't he?
Valguest and Delore have caught up rapid to these two after they've been battling for so long, so this battle for second place has really just heated up right now.
Yes, it has indeed, as you can see.
Big lock up there.
Melted Dazza, yeah, absolutely. I lock up there, and he's under real pressure now from Valguest and from Delore. Pressure to hold on to that third place in that final podium position. This is giving John Boy a chance to get away.
John Boy is going to want to be catching up to Chef, but Chef has had his time to make up his pace, as Chef actually has lost a whole load of time right there to back markers, I think.
Oh, yeah, look,
holding him up.
Yeah, who was that? Who's that? That back marker? That's got to be.
I'm going to guess it's Windsor. Windsor.
As he tries to stay right out of the way, which is the right thing to do. Yeah,
but it's just at the worst part of the track.
Yeah. Where's a good place in the track to be lapped on Brands Indy? You know, it's not.
Well, you're in the pit lane, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I suppose you can tuck right in on the inside of Paddock Hill Bend, but it's such a short track. It's very, very difficult when you're being swallowed up by the leaders for certain, sure. But Chef's really kind of lost out there with that back marker, and John Boy's right on the back of him now, within half a second.
Anyone from first all the way down to 10th really has a realistic chance of getting first. There's still 12 minutes left. So anyone down to Sam Thumbfinger, who wishes he could be up in first, all have a realistic shot of getting this win now. Yes, indeed. This race is definitely ebbing and flowing. A little Duffinism there. Wait for the chat to come up. And it's game on here, isn't it? Absolutely, because John Boy is very close, and John Boy's going to want to have a sniff of this win and put some more valuable points on the board for his championship. So if these two out in front, there is a big line behind. Valguest is now up into the
podium position of 3rd place. But he's got Delore, who's no slouch for certain sure, chasing him down as well for that position. Melted Dazza going backwards a little bit at the moment. Maybe he's burnt his tyres out.
This is the exact car that I was doing in my practice in whenever I was just doing some laps with the boys. And his front left tyres are going to be dead. Anyone in this car, their front tyres are going to be dead.
Yes, and I don't think has anyone opted to run the Astra. I don't think anybody else, has they?
I've not seen it. No.
No. Although what's Delore driving?
Delore is driving a. Delore's driving the Astra.
He's in the Astra. There you go.
Well, you know what?
He's getting it sideways.
Yeah, maybe we just shouldn't talk from now on.
Yeah, maybe we should shut up, or maybe we should get our facts straight before we start gobbing off.
Yeah, at least we should get our facts straight.
Yeah, absolutely. So there is
in the back there, Delore and Falgas getting very close there.
Yes, indeed. So this last podium position isn't settled yet for sure. Delore's got his eye on it.
Not. But John Boy he's caught right up to Chef. Chef is going to be having severe PTSD from the last race.
Yeah, absolutely. So he's got a mirror full of John Boy who wants to get in and try his cooking, I think. And
hopefully Chef is putting enough fuel this time. Chef is he ran out of fuel on the very last corner of the last lap, last race, as he goes very slow up there it seems. But he's only got 14 litres in it.
Yeah,
this
and
race.
It's going to be. And we're just about half distance, so that's another 13 laps he's got to do on that fuel. So
and John Boy's got 17 litres, and if we just look back to Falgast, he's got 18, and Delore has 16. So
what's Chef got? 13. Ooh, yeah.
13 and a half. So I wonder if Chef made a severe poor calculation, as John Boy nearly.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get up the inside of him there. I thought he had a better line, but so
did I.
Yeah, but Chef seemed to have the momentum as he got the drive out of the corner. But certainly John Boy is all over Chef like a cheap suit, and looking for that way through. And as the cameraman wakes up and
as the cameraman knows he has a job.
Yeah. Hello, mate. Wakey. As you can see, John Boy is all over this one. And look in the background, Delore's now up to 3rd place, but he's got very close company from everybody by the looks of it. And
don't know where to look right now.
No, Falgas hasn't given that one up for sure. As they're all in very close company. It's difficult being a race director, isn't it? You just don't know. Oh, imagine having to do it for real. At least you get the joy of replays on a real in a real TV studio type setup.
And at least there you have multiple cameramen. Here we've just got me as Falgast and Delore getting very close there.
Melted Dazza in that one, and who's the other one? That's Craig in there as well. And just on the back of this is Gary. Remember, Gary started last in this race.
Gary's all the way to 7th, and we've had 2 retirements, it seems.
Yeah. Gary's had a couple of championships, a few over on Simplay, and I think he's had a few in Motive as well. So he's definitely one of the favourites for this championship. May not have in the meeting that he would ideally want here, but he's certainly made up a lot of places.
Yeah, Gary is he's definitely a fast driver when he's not taking me out at Hungary or Kota in the F1.
But you're not bitter about that at all, are you?
Definitely not. No.
No. You don't remember every single detail like it's imprinted in your mind, do you?
Definitely not. No, I don't have multiple clips of the incident. As Craig and Gary are battling for 7th place right now, and Melted Dazza is just fighting to hold on for that 5th place.
John Boy's got into 1st place. We haven't seen it on the stream because we're trying to watch 2 or 3 things at once, but John Boy's got the job done, which was kind of inevitable, really. We thought it was going to happen. So John Boy's got the job done. But he's got a penalty.
Yes, he does. Let's quickly check what that penalty is. It's a 2-second
2-second penalty as well, yeah. So he's got a 2-second...
Chef only has 11 litres of fuel left.
Yeah, he's going to be marginal on fuel, isn't he? He really can't make the same mistake in 2 races, can he? Can he?
I mean, it's not out of the question. As Melted Desert goes very wide there, just gives the position to Craig. But I saw a while ago Gary dropped way off everyone. I don't know if he had a slowdown or He just hit the back of someone and just lost his mojo. But yeah, Gary dropped way off the pace.
Yeah, could quite possibly have had a slowdown, as you said. So, I mean, because he was right on the back of Craig, wasn't he? And when Melted Dazzler had gone wide, he could have capitalised on that. But that's the way it goes, I suppose. So, John Boy's got to put himself a 2-second gap at least from Chef. If Chef wants to win this one, he doesn't have to race him. He just has to cruise up behind him and stay on the rear bumper of him, basically.
Yeah, in racing, sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles.
It certainly is, yeah, absolutely. And all things are relevant. Again, as if you saw the Formula One today, awesome drive from Alonso, a little bit of a spoiler, held up Hamilton for a very long time, very, very well.
Yeah,
and he's a good driver, isn't he?
Amazing drive from Mick Schumacher to hold up Verstappen for that long.
Yeah,
I know
he was.
Verstappen had a really damaged car, but still.
Yeah, absolutely. But I thought the Alonso drive was epic. He's lost none of his racecraft whatsoever.
Lauder's going to run out of fuel. Yeah, for fuel top up.
Oh dear, these guys.
0.8.
Yeah, these guys not first race of the season. I suppose we can give it a little bit of leeway, but a lot of these guys are guys who race all the time. They shouldn't be making these mistakes on fuel, should they, Killian?
No, these are rookie mistakes. Like
they are.
I remember the first ever race I did a commentary over was a Clio race, and the championship leader ran out of fuel on the last lap. No, I can't remember who it was. It was back in February now.
Yeah, seems like such a long time in sim world, doesn't it? You know,
it really does.
Yeah, I haven't even been
multiple races a week.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I've commentated on so many races and raced so much, and I've only been into it since January. So you know, it's a lot's happened in a year. On many different channels, to be fair, because there's a lot of these guys race on multiple channels here at the SimZone and on Motive and on SimPlay. Those guys, you want to find out about them, have a look at their websites, Facebook pages, whatever, and get involved with those guys. But we're on the SimZone, and we've got 4 minutes left of this second round here at Brands Hatch Indy, and it's John Boy who's in front, but with a 2-second penalty over Chef, who's less than a second behind, and that's all he needs to do, Killian, to win this race. He doesn't have to overtake him now.
No, but you know, as someone who has raced in the F1 leagues before, if someone has a penalty in front of you and you're coming up to the end and you don't need to overtake them, you're still going to overtake them. It's just instinctive.
Let's face it, we're all racers, aren't we? And it's if you get a sniff at a win by doing it over the line and taking the checkered flag, then taking the checkered flag is always the best way to do it. So and if Chef gets a sniff of that win on track, I'm sure he'll take it, won't he?
Especially just on F1 2021, for instance. Now they've got like a radio thing, so if you cross the line first, customized radio thing comes across the air that everyone can hear.
Yeah, sorry mate, I was just trying to read Kurt V comment. That was probably me. The track was up and down one springs. Yeah,
I don't know what that means.
Any sense of that whatsoever. Kurt, sorry about that. And so we've only got a couple of minutes left of this race at the moment, and no big battles on track at the moment. We've got a couple of penalties. Falguest got a penalty down the order. Ugbar, Vigla and Lauder all with penalties as well. And
Gary, he's going to have the inside line, then the outside line, but he's going to have the inside line for this corner, and he gets Melted Dazzler done lovely there. But Melted Dazzler is gonna try and Melted Dazzler just broke away too early there.
Yeah, look at the front of Gary's car. It's a little bit beaten, that BMW. It's had a little bit of an accident, and probably what happened to Gary early on. But he's up into 6th place, and every point counts, especially if you're looking at a championship, which
it really does.
Yes, indeed. Doesn't look like Melted Dazzler's given this one up yet, does it?
No, it doesn't. And Kurt was talking about it was him that ran out of fuel in the first ever race that they commentary on.
Yeah.
Yes. So
that was it in the Clios, right? Yeah. I had an opportunity to race Kurt. I think that was in touring car actually, not in Clios. I find both of these disciplines extremely hard. The touring cars are very rear end happy. The BMW I think is, from my view, is probably the easiest car to drive. But the Renault Meganes which are banned from this particular championship that we're doing, the back ends of them are so incredibly loose. And the Clios are the same, incredibly unpredictable. The Clios, it takes a certain art to drive them, doesn't it, Killian?
It really does. And talking about Clios, we do have a Clio Cup on Tuesday that runs this exact same format, and they are extremely close races. I
no doubt
do commentary on that with Nick whenever he shows up.
I haven't had the opportunity to watch them. I commentated and tried the Clios on Motive, and I've no doubt the racing is absolutely electric, because those Clios, I say, they are a handful to drive, a real handful to drive. But you see some fantastic racing from a lot of these guys that you're seeing tonight do the Clio Cup, and well worth a watch. So tune in on a Tuesday night here at the SimZone, and that's pushy, wasn't it?
Craig was just telling Vargas, hey, I'm here, I want past.
I think he was trying to actually tell him that by winding down the window and telling him he was so close. He was nearly in the same car with him, so so
well, he's looking at the inside. I was very close there.
Yes, indeed, these guys, and so we're into the last laps. John Boy just come across the line. The time has elapsed, so that makes this the last lap. I don't think John Boy is going to break away 2 seconds. Do you?
No, he's definitely not. And Chef this time does have enough fuel, so that is some good news.
yeah, just about by the looks of it. So John Boy had a bit of a wiggle there at the top, which has brought Chef a little bit closer, but John Boy will know that he isn't able to win this one with his time penalty, and that's the way the cookie crumbles, isn't it? So just coming round the last corner, it's going to be John Boy who's going to take the win over the line. He's going to take the checkered flag in first place, but he's going to immediately drop back to second place with the time penalty. So your winner is ESR Chef, your blue BMW, and it was Delore in the Vauxhall Astra who was in third place, takes the last of the podium positions.
Valgas has dropped all the way down to second.
Yeah, that must have been quite a penalty. I didn't see what that was, but it was
Let's check. It was a 7-second
7-second penalty, so that drops Valgas all the way down to 7. So Craig was promoted to 4th, Gary promoted to 5th. Good result for Gary. Melted Daza came in 6th. Valgas, as we said, ends up in 7th. Sam, after such a good start, ends up 8th. Putney in 9th. Delore was 10th. That was the last one I saw as the
House Rocker in 10th.
The House Rocker in 10th, or the Huis Rocker, whichever way you want to pronounce it.
Over 11th, Vliegrik is in 12th. Lodder, who had to make a pit stop because he ran out of fuel, is in 13th. Windsor in 14th. Grandad Stee and Fury both had to retire, both on the exact same lap.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's crazy. Yep, and I wonder why they retired, but there you go. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to take another quick break. We've got the race 3 coming in just a few minutes. It's going to be a 10-minute qualification. It's going to be a 35-minute race with a mandatory pit stop. So don't go anywhere. If you want to nip to the loo, do whatever you got to do it now, and join us back in just a few moments for race 3 tonight.
I don't know where I am, I don't know where you take me, I don't know where you take me. I just follow your trail and I'm losing your mind and I'm losing your head. Let me escape from this love, cause I'm a prisoner. I just want to look my way and never back to you. don't need some love, 'cause I'm a prisoner. I just want to look my way, never back to you. I'm not above it. Let me be myself. I'm not above it. Let me be myself. Let me be myself. Let me be myself. Let me be myself. I'm not above it. Let me be myself. I'm not above it. Let me be myself.
Falling apart when you're so far. You're the only thing that I can't lose. I can't lose. You filled in the cracks, didn't know I had. Melting my heart from the broken glass. Now in every part of me, it's you. And I don't want nobody else closer than you.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the third race this evening here on the SimZone for the Touring Car Championship here on a Sunday night. We are at Brands Hatch. My name's Kelly Davis. I'm joined with Killian, aka Green Pies, and you've got some motorsport news, haven't you?
I have got some heart-breaking news for everyone right now in the world of F1. Vettel has just been disqualified by the FIA for not having enough fuel. You're meant to have at least 1 litre of fuel in your tank by the end of the race for scrutineering. Vettel only had 0.3. So after this commentary, I think I'm going to go cry with a bunch of Vettel fans.
So, am I right in saying he's been disqualified completely, or a grid drop or a position drop?
He's been disqualified from the race. So the grid order will be Ocon, Hamilton, Sainz, I think it is.
Yeah, Sainz came fourth, didn't he? Yeah, so would he be promoted into third? That means more points for Hamilton as well.
That means
for
more
his
points for
championship.
Williams.
Yeah, that's more points for Williams. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So more points for Williams, which is good news. More points for Hamilton, which is, if you're a Hamilton fan, is good news. If you're a Verstappen fan, not such good neuse. And
Max also did get more points from that as well, I guess.
Yes, he would have got more points as well. Yeah, absolutely. You're quite right. So, I'm surprised you didn't say something about that, Killian, because maybe you took on board that chat we had off air about being impartial. Being impartial. Maybe you took that on board, or maybe you didn't. We'll see.
I'm a commentator, but I'm not a commentator for Sky Sports.
Yeah, absolutely. And impartial's probably not your thing. So, breaking F1 news, Vettel disqualified after a great result at the Grand Prix today. If you didn't see it, it was a good one actually, and the Hungaroring is normally it does throw up some good races from time to time. Incredibly difficult track to overtake, and Monaco without the barriers, isn't it? So, but it did. Well,
people do say that. People do say that, but Sainz was saying it's not really that anymore.
Okay, well, Sainz would know better than most.
Well, he definitely knows more than we do.
Yeah, he definitely knows more than we do, but it is still a very particularly difficult track to overtake on, which is this one, which is what we should be talking about, Brands Hatch Indy. And this is our feature race, race 3 of round 1 here at Brands, and this is a qualifying session. So these guys have got 10 minutes to get out there, get their best lap time, and on the board for the grid for the 35-minute feature race, which there will be a pit stop as well. So we've seen a couple of guys running out of fuel tonight, Killian. Let's hope that these guys realise that it's a 35-minute race, which is going to be 40
lap race.
Yeah, well, and who's that pointing in the wrong direction there in the background? Somebody's parked up.
Know.
Yeah, someone's parked up on the edge of the track. We don't know what that's all about, but it's going to be a 42 lap race around here over the 35 minutes. So let's hope these guys put some more fuel in, because some of them have made some schoolboy errors here this evening.
Yeah, maybe they've been in talks with Aston Martin.
Yeah, maybe.
about getting enough fuel to the end. Thankfully, here at the SimZone, we don't disqualify you if you don't have enough fuel.
No, because we have no physical way of taking the fuel out of a car that doesn't exist.
Yeah, and also because we'll just laugh at you for running out of fuel.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If you haven't got enough fuel, you're quite frankly rubbish. So you should check these things. And as I said, hopefully, excuse me, the little mistakes that these guys have made by running out of fuel, they'll get on top of. There's nothing more frustrating, is there?
No, running out of fuel is the most painful thing ever.
Yeah, we've all done it, and I remember in my first couple of sim races, my first couple of proper sim races, which was in touring cars, I made all the rubbish mistakes, the speeding in the pit lane, and I got properly disqualified for that one.
I remember my first ever Project Cars league that I entered. It was the GT3s at Motive, I believe. And I had a great qualifying. I had no practice. It was in the Bentley. I lined up third on the grid, and I got a jump start. I nearly ran out of fuel, and I had multiple spins.
Yeah, that's the way it tends to go. My first one was the one where I got disqualified for speeding in the pit lane. For me, it was a touring car race, and it was the Algar. As we see John Boy getting it all very wrong and into the wall. No real harm done. He goes back to the pits, and we'll go again to go again. Yeah, to go again. And no need to use a truck to pick him up or to replace anything.
Oh, we've got teleportation.
Absolutely, because we live in a fantasy world.
Yeah, and I've just seen a message from Kurt. Now, this isn't my conspiracy theory, but
no, okay.
It seems like the decision always seems to favour Hamilton, and
yeah,
I'm not going to say that's wrong, because that's right.
No. Well, yeah. You remember what I said about being impartial?
I am impartial.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
with
being
that
impartially
in mind,
correct.
with that in mind, Kurt, you're right. It does. I mean, again, to be impartial, Lewis Hamilton is a phenomenal driver, an absolute legend, and 7 times world champion. But you're right. Luck seems to go his way. But then, if you're old enough to remember watching Schumacher, another exceptional driver, another, one of the all-time greats, he seemed to have all the luck as well. Do you know what I mean? He seemed to have things seem to go his way. And I remember the FIA, people joking about the FIA being Ferrari international assistants, because the FIA seemed to always be on Ferrari's side about everything, But, of course, we're sure that wasn't the case. It just seemed that way.
Apart from Schumacher and Hamilton both being really lucky and both having extremely fast cars, another thing that they both have in common is, 7 world titles, and they just happen to always come in contact with their main rivals, and their main rivals seems to always come off worse.
As I said, they both had really good luck. And sometimes in life it's better to be lucky than talented, so certainly got me through life, so it's the luck does seem to always kind of fall their way, really. Do you know what I mean? So Lewis had a puncture, was it the British Grand Prix last year? Had a puncture right at the end, managed to cross the line. The last British Grand Prix, which I had the pleasure of going to, he was in a high-speed accident. Let's not get into that, because that's...
his rival just happens to not be there anymore.
Yeah, a 50G impact, and Lewis goes on to win the race. But, I mean, he served his penalty, drove his race, done the job that he needed to do. But he does seem to have a lot of luck, which is great. But he is also a fantastic talent, and I know there's many Lewis Hamilton fans out there who would say it's all skill and not luck. So
Well, the best driver in F1 at the moment is still Nikita Mazepin.
Oh, by far.
Honestly.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. It was Giovinazzi, but then Mazepin came along. And,
Mazepin beat Hamilton at Baku in a Haas.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow, just absolute scenes.
I've said it many times on many leagues, and the sun shines on a dog's arse some days, and yeah, that's the way it goes. So we are just about the end of this qualifying session. Sam's giving it up and he's back in the pits, but he is your man in the 46.9s. 2 men in the 46s. John Boy in the 46s as well.
16 milliseconds.
Yeah, absolutely. And the field is so close all the way down, less than a second, all the way back to 14th place. Can Gary do anything better than 4th place as he comes across the line now? No, he can't. John Boy, I think, is in the background there. He doesn't improve. So there you go. Our grid for the feature race looks like this. Sam Funfinger with a 46.9 and 1/100th or 16th of a 100th, whatever that is.
16
John Boy,
milliseconds.
16 milliseconds is John Boy in. Thank you, whoever's doing that. Thank you very much. John Boy in 2nd place. The only other man in the 46s today, ESR Chef. He's in the mix as well in 3rd place. Gary 131 in 4th. Good showing from him. Delore, another good showing as well in 5th. Craig makes up 6th place. The House Rocker is in 7th. Foul Guest in 8th. Melted Daza in 9th. And Viga in 10th. And Lotta makes up 11th place. Putney in 12th. Grandad Stee in 13th. Fury in 14th. and Ugbar in 15th, and Windsor 102 is your man bringing up the rear in last place. Prediction for the win, Killian?
I don't know, but if Chef can just finish in top 4, I think he will be leading the championship coming out of the first round, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're thinking Chef maybe might be your tip?
Well, Chef has been extremely consistent the past 2 races, bar nearly running out of fuel, but, you know, we'll let him slide because he made it to the end. But yeah, Sam Thumbfinger was extremely fast, and so is John Boy. So, I mean, the 3 fastest boys are at the front. It's just a matter of who's going to pit first and what they're going to do in the pit stop, I think.
Absolutely, and it's going to be a key part of this. My money's on John Boy or Gary 131 for this one. I think John Boy's got a good chance, but as I said before, look out for Gary. He's been getting closer and closer to the front all the way through this meeting, through round 1 and round 2. So just watch him from P4 in the yellow BMW. He's got a good chance as well. Remember, there is a mandatory pit stop. Now, you don't have to do anything, so you don't have to change tyres, you don't have to put fuel in or whatever. You don't have to do any of that. You can, but the problem is with this game and this format is the pit stops are so incredibly slow. Okay, none of these guys are ever going to have a job with Red Bull because they are so incredibly slow at changing tyres and putting fuel in the car. So normally nobody will do anything, but they are required to make a mandatory pit stop. And when was the pit window, Killian? I can't remember.
I was literally about to send G a message there asking.
10 to 21, wasn't it?
I think it was that, yeah. So they have to make a mandatory pit stop between lap 10 to 21, and if they don't make a pit stop before that, we'll see them make the pit stop after, and then we'll be able to see if anyone didn't make a pit stop or made a pit stop too late after. But we're lights out, and ERS Chef got an amazing start there.
Yeah, but John Boy got an even better one and is into the lead, and quite comfortably as well, as they go down Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. We've got a couple of people who are a little bit out of shape, but everyone's through by the looks of it as they come up to the top of the hill for the first time.
The 3rd place.
Yes, he is. That was an absolutely flying start from him. Gary's gone backwards a little bit. I'm sorry, Gary, if I've just cursed your race by saying watch out for him. But
there's a rollover. There's 2 rollovers back there.
2 on their roofs out there.
That is Craig and Lauder, teammates.
Yeah, has Craig got a reset button? Has he got a reset button assigned? Doesn't look like it. If you haven't got a reset... Yeah, if he hasn't got a reset button assigned, he could be on his roof for the rest of the race. Or have to retire.
Hopefully his teammate comes along and just gives him a nice
nudges him back.
There.
Yeah, Craig's still on his roof there. He's...
there's a huge crash up at the top of the hill.
Oh, Melted Dazza in part of that. We're on board with Grandad Steve, Bar, excuse me, so on and so forth. Craig's still showing in 8th place at the moment?
No,
was that Grandad Steve?
That's Grandad Steve. Craig retired.
Craig's retired. So he didn't have a pit. He didn't have a reset button assigned, so he couldn't put himself back on his wheel, because you can assign your reset button or not, as the case may be.
And some wheels they just don't have enough buttons. And you need buttons for things such as like changing the cameras, being able to look around, obviously gearing up, gearing down, all the pit menu stuff. Like there's just so many buttons that you need to have, and you never really anticipate being up on your roof, do you?
No, indeed. Although it's happened to me a couple of times where I've been put up on my roof.
Ooh,
and
wait, who is that? Is that Fury that's just gone up the inside?
Yes, it is.
That was a lovely move up the inside. Oh no, sorry, that wasn't Fury. That was Grandad Steed that made the lovely move up the inside. Grandad Steed that did it.
Yeah. We're getting used to the colours. We know a lot of these guys, and between me and Killian, we've commentated and raced probably everybody on the grid one way or another. But new season, new liveries. We've got to get used to using what livery. As we go on through the championship, really. So a bit of a hectic one, but John Boy's got a second out in front from Chef, and lots of other action going on potential action.
The House Rocker and Gary are fighting it out right now.
Yes, indeed. For some reason, yeah, it's probably the view that I'm watching. I don't get the little triangles at the moment to see the view that you guys see at home. You don't see the little prompt triangles that are down the menu to tell us where who's close to each other, who's within a second of each other. You don't get that, and I've got the same view that everyone else is watching as we're on board with. I love this view, this chase view. You can really get yourself in the car there. With the driver and see exactly what they're doing and what they're up against. As you see,
really in the car.
Yeah, really in the car. Which is the view you drive with, Killian? Which one is your driver choice?
Well, in these cars, I would usually sit on the roof because it just gives you a lovely vantage point of everything. But in single seaters, I always race in first person. Okay,
I mean, for me, it's the bonnet cam, the one you can just see the front of the bonnet. That's the one. That's where I race. Unfortunately, I find the other one, the roof cam, I feel like I'm driving a van because I'm so high up in the perspective of the car. Although you can see much more, I feel like I'm driving a van, and I drive a van enough day to day. You know.
Yeah. Well,
so,
I drive, and I've kind of got like a Formula setup with my rig in my room, and I drive with the Formula wheels. So my wheelbase, the CSL wheelbase, actually covers the bonnet. So whenever I have my wheelbase down, I actually can't even see the bonnet.
Right, there you go. Yeah.
Craig has just left the session.
Yeah, as I was going to say, we see Craig left the session. He was on his roof. We presume he hasn't got a reset button and he didn't know where to find it. So he's the first man out of this race. First penalty. Melted Dazza seems to have a penalty for something. Track limits, 2-second penalty, as you can see on your screen now. Yeah. And so he's first man with a penalty. 42 lap race this one. Pit window opens on lap 10. Between lap 10
and Poopney.
Yeah, going at it. These two, both Team Camber, both going at it.
They don't want to be crashing into each other if they're teammates.
No, indeed. And yeah, sorry, I was just trying to read some of the chat. Kurt V in the chat talking about Lewis Hamilton and the Verstappen accident. It's going to be something that we're going to be talking about for the rest of the year, really. And you know, everyone's got their opinion on it. But
I'm really looking forward to Drive to Survive. That's going to be something to watch.
Absolutely.
Getting to see all the behind the scenes.
Yeah, Drive to Survive now. Funnily enough, I haven't seen much of it, and I keep meaning to. I've got the series is recorded, I believe, but I just haven't had the time to watch them. But I understand it's a fantastic series and gives you a real insight into the workings of Formula One, which is something that we always want to know more, don't we?
In F1, you always want to know more, and you can always find more.
Yeah. I've got a friend who works in Formula One. Unfortunately, I don't see him very often, and so he's not an awful lot used to me, to be fair. He works for Williams pit crew. He's one of the dyno guys, or he actually works for Mercedes, but he's on loan to. As we see, that's Gary going deep. That's lost him a couple of places there. He went deep into the gravel, so that's put him back quite a way, back into 5th place. He must have been up a bit further than that because he was running in quite a high position. So a little mistake from Gary there, not helping his cause too much, as we see Sam all over the back of the house rocker, so looking to make a move and get round him. What was I talking about for that?
Your mate that works for Williams. I don't like anymore. Mercedes.
he works for Mercedes, an engine guy for Mercedes, but he's on loan to Williams, has been for the last couple of years, and is dyno department. So
does he take bribes?
No, not really. No, I tried to get him to get. I worked with his dad, so I got onto his dad to get onto him to get me a bit of hospitality when we went to Silverstone, but nothing came back. So So did I say he was a mate? Nah, he's not.
Hopefully he's not watching this right now, but I doubt he is.
Yeah. Doesn't everyone watch this? Doesn't everyone watch sim
I
racing?
guess, yeah. Everyone obviously watched the SimZone touring cars on a Sunday night. Sam Thumbfingers all over the back of the house rockers. Max Verstappen, orange BMW car.
Yeah.
Car.
Yes, indeed. It's the classic orange livery. The used to be a British touring car. Used to be RAC colours for in that kind of burnt orange livery.
They're going side by side into turn one.
Yeah.
Sam has the inside, and
he's got it done.
The house rocker's just no way. The house
He goes a little. Oh, sorry, he just lost. Sam got a little bit sideways out of Paddock Hill bed, which has given the house rocker a chance to come up round the on the outside, but he won't be able to make it stick from there, which he doesn't. But he hasn't given this up just yet as he looks down the inside. No, he hasn't. And Sam was a little bit leery at a couple of those corners. Back end hanging out. Best thing you'd do with a BMW, to be fair.
Yeah, and Melvin Dazzler and Gary have both made their pit stops, so...
Yeah, so both their pit stops are done on...
John Boy's also in the pit.
John Boy's in the pit, who was your race leader, taking his pit stop now, getting it over and done with. We've been a bit of a talking point over on SimPlay about the pit stop glitch, and I don't know how much we want to talk about that over here, but it is a thing and it is real. And it can make a huge difference on your racing. I don't know how much it works.
I'll be honest, I've got no idea how to do that.
Well, there you go. I don't know how well it works on touring cars, to be fair. We know it works on a GT3 car. You're aware of it, aren't you? You're aware of the pit stop glitch?
I'm not going to say this, and it didn't come from me, but I definitely didn't see Dan doing it in a race.
In in touring car racing, or
in GT3 race, I think it was.
You're not...
But I didn't say that, and I didn't see it.
Well, it's over on SimPlay. It's become a we've talked about it over there, or I haven't talked about it. I'm just a commentator, but the admins over there have talked about it and said there's no real way to police it. Do you know what I mean? If you can get the pit stop glitch right. And it works for you, then that is your good luck. You know,
Kudos,
and and there is no real way to police it. So, if you get it right, then well done, you've got it right. But it can give you. I've done it, and I've done it more than once in the current season over on SimPlay. And when it works, I mean, it works better than a Red Bull pit stop, like less than half a second. You
ended up just digging yourself a grave, and now you're going to get a huge penalty over there.
No, there's no penalties for it over there. At least, God, I don't know. I hope not. Otherwise, I am in trouble. But no, it's something that's been talked about a lot over there because more and more sim racers on project cars are learning how to do the pit stop glitch. So, it's as I say, I don't know if it works on touring car quite as well.
Well, speaking about pit stops, Chef has the lead at the moment, but he hasn't made his pit stop, and Sam is 24 seconds and gaining. As Chef actually comes into his pit stop now.
Yes, indeed. Certainly interesting to be where John Boy is and where he's going to be when.
So it was John Boy, wasn't it?
Yeah, John Boy was leading, so we'll see where he comes up. He's coming up the hill now, so we'll see if he gets past Chef.
I think Chef is moving. I see his dot moving, but I don't know. This is going to be tight. You can just about see them there. But no, I think John Boy's easily got that done. Chef is just coming out
of the pits. Yeah. So I can't remember what the gap was before the pit stops, but
it was 1 second, I think it was.
Okay, so John Boy is now about 3 seconds ahead. So it looks like the undercut has worked. What I've just come to my mind is I think the pit stop glitch only works if you have damage switched on, and I believe we're not running damage tonight, are we?
Oh no, if we were running damage, we'd have at least 5 people left.
Yeah, so we're not running damage this evening on these cars, so the pit stop glitch doesn't work without being able to have some damage on. So everything I said about the pit stop glitch, completely ignore.
Yeah, just, I think
just
now
ignore
we'll
it.
just ignore you.
Yeah, and we've got Kurt asking about how does it work. Well, it's almost irrelevant now because, as I said, you've got to have a little bit of damage for it to work, and these cars are running without damage. So as we can see, John Boy hassling the back of Ugbar, who's this isn't for position because Ugbar is, or it is for position, but Ugbar hasn't pitted yet. So probably John Boy just wants to get on with it. Oh, he goes down the inside. Oh, they rub door handles a little bit there, but
they really do.
I think John Boy's just given that back to Ugbar. Feels like he might have been a little bit pushy because he certainly backed out of that, didn't he?
He really did. Yeah, he could have just went on and just went about his day, but no. And actually, that gave Ugbar a time penalty, I think.
Yeah.
Of
2 seconds.
Oh, there is definitely going to be a stewards report on that, I think.
Yeah. Well, as I say, John Boy probably went in a little bit hot, but he certainly gave the position back. So. Yeah, no real harm done, I suppose. But John Boy's the net leader of this race. He's got Chef has caught right back up to him, so John Boy's losing time behind Ugbar. Something rotten by the looks of it, hand over fist. He's losing time because Chef is just cruising up behind him.
Chef is just hoping that Ugbar can just maybe stay out for one more lap, but no, Ugbar's in this lap.
Ugbar's in, so Chef would have, as you say, would probably have liked him to stay out for a bit longer because he was definitely holding John Boy up.
And I think that is everyone made a pit stop now. Obviously, there's no way to check, but until the end.
Yeah.
Actually, wait. No, it doesn't say here if anyone's made a pit stop.
No, I'm sure. Whoever's given a watching brief over the race is taking notes, and we will know at the end of it. But if everyone's done their pit stop, that's great because the pit stop window will shut again on lap 21, so they had to get it done between 10 and 21, which looks like everyone has. So it's a straight fight to the end with John Boy in the lead, and he's got a second and a bit over the top of Chef, and Sam 5 seconds back in third place at the moment. Fury doing well up into fifth place. Valiga up into seventh. He's doing quite well as well. So a couple of these guys getting the hang of things, and.
I guess another way we could police it is once the pit window closes, if anyone pits after that, and then at the end we can see how many pit stops people have made. If they've only made one pit stop and they made that pit stop after the pit window, I guess that's a slam dunk race disqualification.
Wow! Yeah, really, or maybe just penalty. Who knows? You know? I don't know. And I'm the commentator, so as far as I'm concerned, that's for the admins to work it all out. I don't. I'll just chat about what's in front of me. I don't need to work out how to check it.
I can't even say it's not to me because I'm literally the steward.
Well, there we go.
So I think I've just put it out there. If you don't do it, I'm just going to give you a disqualification.
Oh wow, that's harsh. Don't upset this guy. That's for certain sure, isn't it? You know.
I'm only joking. We'll go through the right processes, and all the stewards will talk together as we usually do. As John Boy and Chef have both put a back marker, and I believe that's one of the back markers that was on their roof.
Lauder, is it?
Yeah, I believe it's Lauder.
Yeah.
Yes, it is Lauder, who's just holding up Chef.
Oh, yeah, gets out of the way now.
But
I don't know
sure
what...
if there's...
Sorry, go on.
I think we're both about to ask the exact same thing. I don't know if he has an obligation to get out of the way.
That was exactly what I was going to say. I don't know what rules we're running to. I don't know if we're running to normal touring car rules where blue flags would apply and you're obliged to get out of the way, or if we're running to endurance rules where the back markers can do as they please. So we'll get verification on that at some point.
I hope we can get verification on that.
But I would have said that blue flags are in place. It would be my guess. Cosmic Mike in the chat saying don't mess with Killian. Right? Yeah, I'm getting that. If you put a wheel wrong, or or you've got the wrong, I don't know, helmet on or something, he's going to give you a disqualification. He's going to be brutal like that. So no quarter given here. That's for certain sure. So
And wait, Windsor. What lap is Windsor on?
20.
Windsor, he's on lap 20. Okay,
20.
He got very lucky there.
Thank God, Windsor. I mean, he may have. Killian had seen that on lap 22 or something, my God, he would have taken your doors off. You know, he's brutal.
Yeah, disqualification, season-long ban. Just
Yeah,
all the
you know,
stops,
and
kicked from the league.
absolutely, and a fine, and he'll take your house away, and come around and I don't know. I was going to say murder. No, bet not. Kidnap your dog.
Oh no, I don't want Windsor to turn into John Wick on me.
No, don't do that. Yeah. See what happened to John Wick.
Never mess with the dog.
Never mess with the dog. Yeah. So anyway, it's still John Boy, lap 23. We are just about half distance on this race. It's still John Boy out in the lead from Chef, Chef and Sam had a really good meeting, as John Boy, to be fair. So these guys, all the front runners in this championship already here at Brands, but things could change next week when we go to Donington Park, and all the tracks in this season are British tracks, so it's like a British touring car. We're at Brands Hatch Indy now, as you know, and Gary 131 getting very close to Fury. These guys have raced a lot before in the past, and so they know a little bit about each other. So Gary's hunting him down. Sorry, as I was saying, Brands Hatch Indy for round 1, where we are now. Round 2 is going to be at Donington Park, which is next Sunday. Orton Park for round 3. Snetterton 300 for round 4, and round 5, the finish of the season will be at Silverstone National. So lots of racing going on. Gary has a look down the inside. Fury shuts the door. Gary moves to the outside. Going to try and go all the way around the outside. Going to make it difficult for him to stick down through there. Fury back. Fury's put his lights on now. That'll make a difference. And Gary's still all over the back of him, dancing from one side to the other, trying to get a look down the inside. We're on board with Gary now. That's the ticket. And Fury defending for his life. He knows how quick Gary is. And as we pull up real close there,
we are
you could even read
covered with Fury on our screen.
Yep, and Gary again going from one side to the other. Lot of movement, and they're entitled to do that down the straights. Movement under braking. That's the one that. Oh look, Gary's got a good run this time. Oh no, and once again Fury slams the door shut, but he's gone wide up at the top. Gary goes down the inside, but it's going to put him on the outside for the next corner. So good racing from these two, nice and clean. Nobody's
Fury
taking anybody out. Gary looks up the inside to the other side, and still can't get round him just at the moment, Killian.
Yeah, Fury's definitely taking notes from Fernando Alonso.
Yeah,
with this defending.
Absolutely, making that the widest A-class Mercedes in the world. Just as I said, Fernando Alonso did in the Grand Prix, some cracking racing from Fernando. But again, Gary looks to the outside. Fury's certainly making Gary work for this one. As you go, Gary goes over to the right. Ooh. Look at that. Gary knows exactly where he's going and tries to compensate. This time he's got it for sure.
Compensate for this, as our cameraman is a bit slow there.
He was a little bit slow, yes, but Fury managed to cover him off again. This time Gary looks down the inside, still can't find a way through. Cracking racing from these two.
Our cameraman is on fire tonight.
Yeah, he had to wake up twice then, bless him. As we're back on board with Gary. Oh, that was close. I thought he was going to slam into the back of him then. He's got the run down the inside. Has he got the power? He's got a little bit of an overlap. Fury just pushes it a little while. And ultimately they lean on each other, and Fury ended up being the net loser out of that one. Gary continues on and into fifth place. Sorry?
That was all Fury there. Fury pushed Gary.
Fury pushed him to the inside and ended up getting out of shape with it. But good hard racing from those two.
That was some very good racing. Oh, that is I might see a stewards report of that. You never know.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I think that's a race ban.
Race ban. Season ban. Get out. Ban for life. Yeah.
That's all jokes.
Or it could just be a racing incident.
It could be a racing incident. It was a Mercedes involved, wasn't it?
Yes. Remember what I said?
Yes, I need to be impartial.
Impartial. That's it. Just because it's got a Mercedes badge on it doesn't mean you have to hate it. All right.
I know, but these BMWs up the front are really showing that they're the fastest car for this season, it seems, in these British tracks. I'm just amazed they're all German cars in the British series.
Apart from the Astra, you mean? Which is probably an Opel Astra, actually, which is German.
Yeah,
so,
which is German.
Yeah, but don't the Germans make the best cars in the world?
No, Red Bull's Austrian.
No? Yeah, but they don't make cars, do they? Red Bull, they don't make road cars.
Well,
they're not a car
actually,
manufacturer.
No, because
about...
I saw something, and Red Bull might actually make their own cars. They've got everything to make their own cars now. They've got their own engines. They've got
they got their own engines, but I think they still need a bit of help with that. Volkswagen were talking about getting involved with Red Bull quite a lot and building their engines. So I think that one's still in talks a little bit. As Grandad Steve, we've lost Grandad Steve. He's disconnected from the session now, so he's gone. That's our second retirement. Lots of penalties on the board as well. But I was talking like German cars in general, like who actually manufacture cars. Melted Daza got a 7 second penalty. Ouch. Yeah. Is he actually been on the track or what?
I don't know. Let's go quickly look at him. Is he on the
yeah, wow.
You can just see his wing mirror there, or not his wing mirror, well, his wing mirror and his rear view mirror. He has got Piotni right behind him.
Yeah, absolutely, breathing all over him.
But more importantly, Chef.
Yes, I was just going to say, Chef is all up the chuff of John Boy and giving him a run for his money. That's for certain sure. So this isn't over by a long shot. Just going back to it, I was talking about German-built cars more than.
Germany do make a lot of great cars, but I mean, it's the Italians that have Ferrari, and it's the British that have.
That's a Fiat. It's a Fiat, basically, isn't it?
Fiat and
but
Ferrari.
Then you could argue that a 911 is just a glorified Beetle. So
basically is, yeah.
Most
pretty German
much.
cars are just rebranded ones of other cars that are German. If you think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, the British make McLarens and Aston Martins and Bentleys.
And for anybody who can remember, Austin Rover or Leyland. Yeah, so that wasn't quite such a good recommendation of English cars.
John Boy just crashed into Gary, I think that was.
Yeah, it looks like they got very, very close. Was it Gary or was it
Windsor?
Windsor, as he was just just going past the lap car. It looks like he gave him a nudge on the way past.
He was probably telling him to bugger off, get out of my way. You've held me up once. I'm not letting you hold me up again.
Yes, indeed. So, Kurt in the chat, one direction to change defence? ? Isn't that the racing rule? ... Fury ? I don't think it is it? I think you can defend on the straight. No. You can defend. You can move more than once. It's excessive weaving is not allowed, but I think you can move more than once. It's in the braking zone. You can only you can't move in the braking zone. That was my universal thought on changing direction.
I think on the straight you're allowed to make one move, and then in the braking zone you're allowed to make one move. So altogether it's about 2 moves on the straight.
I wonder if G is in the back of our commentary box and can clear this one up for us. It's not sounding like he's going to talk to us, but
we've already confirmed off air that he doesn't even listen to us.
Well, that's true. Yeah, he wasn't listening to us when we were off air, so he probably not listening to us now. But anybody else want to back us up on this? What's the rule? The general universal rule for most championships. I was under the impression that you could move, you could defend across in a straight line, and but you can't move in the braking zone. So if you want to, people on the chat, if you want to discuss that one, please do, and we'll try and figure that one out. But certainly, Chef is giving John Boy a run for his money now.
He really is. And one thing that I noticed, I'm not sure if it comes up for you, but John Boy every now and then starts talking. I can't hear him obviously, but a wee indicator shows up that he's talking in game.
I don't know how many of these guys are in the same chat. I mean, if you're unaware of Project Cars and how the format works, you can talk to. There's usually what they call in-game chat, where you just everyone who's in the game chat can talk to each other. So Chef might well be easy enough to talk to John Boy, or you could be in your own party. So you can just be in a party with friends or teammates or whoever or whatever. So I don't know who he's talking to or what he's talking about. But certainly John Boy doesn't need him to tell him that he's right behind him. He'll know this. John Boy just not defending too hard, really, is he? He's just running his own race at the moment. He's not making any kind of moves here, there, or whatever. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, John Boy, he's been fast, and then he just lost his mojo, it seems. Held up by back markers, and just Chef has just been on fire. And also, I've noticed that there's another retirement, and I do think that is Fury, who did well done, Bleegrick, for that idiotic brake checking, and moving under braking, no more said.
Okay, so yeah, it looks like
I also said put in a report.
Yeah.
I said we love hardbacks.
Yeah, that was nice of you. Yeah, yeah, and whoever says Killian hasn't got a heart, there you go. He just sent one. So yeah, don't upset him. But if you do upset him, he'll send you a heart anyway. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So yeah, something that Fury not happy. We didn't see it on stream, but Fury not happy about that. So he may have to put in an inquiry about that and let the stewards work it out. So yeah.
Whenever I'm doing my my steward reports write-ups from now on, I'll always make sure to put a wee heart at the end of it.
Oh wow, it's nice to be nice, isn't it?
It is. And yes, Fury, I sent you my only heart. Fury has my heart now.
Yeah, that's not the one that's made of stone.
No.
So there we go. We're into lap 37. We've only got 5 laps of this race left. Not a great deal going on at track at the moment. No hectic battles, but still, Chef is still chasing down John Boy for this win. Neither of them suffering a penalty. We've got Sam is in 3rd place, and he has got a penalty. But he's well clear of Delore, who's in 4th place at the moment, 11 seconds back off the lead. We're watching Foul Guest at the moment, who's crawling all over the back of Pookney and looking for a way round. Oh, as he just gives Pookney a little bit of a tap, backs out of it, lets Pookney gather himself together. So he probably just outbraked himself a little bit, give him a little bit of a nudge, and then let Pookney go again. So no real harm done. And no need to Killian to get his big stick out and hit anybody. So yeah, it's good hard fighting from these two.
It's really been good hard fighting from everyone, really.
Yeah, and touring cars never ceases to bring out some thrills. So yeah, looking forward to the rest of the season. Alton Park next week. Alton Park always serves up some good racing. So looking forward to that. And these guys, as Foul Guests, can have a look down the inside. Putin's wise to that one. Just about everybody's wise to that one. But look, he gets a run up the inside. He's got the job done by the looks of it.
No.
Will Putin come back down the hill? Yes, he's going to. No, Foul Guests has got that one done. That was a nice move.
Definitely going to get a slowdown from that. He went way too wide there.
Yeah, but
just going to drive through it. Foul Guest does have a 6-second time penalty.
Oh, yeah, that's
Foul Guest.
That's quite a lot, isn't it?
And Maltadaza has a 9-second time penalty. Ugbar has a 7-second time penalty, and Lauder has 10 seconds. What are these guys doing? Oh, sorry.
I think they're not staying on the track. That's what they're doing.
Definitely not if they're getting them kind of penalties.
So Foul Guest had, what did we say, 7 seconds?
Foul Guest has a 8-second time penalty. 8
seconds.
Now.
And Melted Dazza, how far is Melted Dazza in front of Foul Guest?
Not far.
Not far. So really, in reality, Pootney just needs to stay nice and close to these couple of guys. He's going to gain some positions at the end due to these heavy penalties.
Bleegrick is 31 seconds behind. Pjokny is 33 seconds behind. And Bleegrick also has a 3-second time penalty. So there is the possibility of Pjokny going from 9th to 6th place.
Yes, indeed, on penalties alone. So we can see how strong these penalties are This will be a talking point all the way through this season, Killian. Is the penalties are all going to come into play, up and down the field as we go forward, aren't they?
It really is. These guys, like, I understand they're not professionals, obviously, and not all of them have time to practice because some of them have jobs and some of them are just teenagers.
Teenagers don't have jobs, do they?
Some do.
They're too busy sleeping in till midday and then playing PlayStation until 3 in the morning and then not getting up till midday again.
I feel like you're just talking about Dan there.
That's pretty much what Dan did most of his life. As well as raiding the fridge every 2 or 3 hours. So trying to eat us out of house and home. So we are John Boy just coming across the line to finish to start the last lap, should I say? Lap 42. Where did all that go? That was quick, wasn't it?
That really was quick.
It really was quick. So John Boy has been in control of this race. He's managed to keep himself away from a penalty. He's got a back marker in front of him, but he probably won't bother to try too hard to get past that back marker, although he's coming up reasonably quick. And Chef's just there, 3/4 of a second behind. He doesn't have a penalty either. So these guys are going to be confirmed as your 1 and 2. I think Sam has got a big enough gap back to Delore to be still on the podium with his time penalty, but are going to come across the line and win race 3 of round 1 is John Boy for the win. Chef looks pretty happy with second place and Sam in third. So these 3 guys have been towards the front all the way through. Going to cut across the line in 4th place. Good result for the House Rocker. He's going to come across the line in 4th place. Then you've got to wait a little bit. Gary in 5th. Solid result in 5th. Probably not where he wants to be, but a flash of the lights, so he seems to be reasonably happy.
This is what we want to be watching.
Yeah, now the heavy penalties with these guys is going to make a difference. Meltadaz is going to come across the line in 6th, but he's not going to stay there.
Definitely
so
not.
He comes across the line in 6th. Let's wait for these guys to come across the line and then we can start to work it out.
To 6th place.
Yeah, so
wow.
Putney did, quite right. As said, Putney did manage to go all the way back up to 6th place with the penalty sort out. So we'll get the full rundown. So we got John Boy, who was your winner, and Chef in 2nd, Sam 3rd.
Chef is also the championship leader now, after getting a 2nd, 1st and a 2nd.
There we go. So championship leader is Chef as we move on into round 2. Sam came in 3rd, the House Rocket in 4th, Gary 131 in 6th, Putney 5th, Putney in 6th, Vigla in 7th, Melted Dazzler in 8th, Foulguest in 9th, and your top 10 is rounded out by Delore. Fastest lap. Who was the fastest lap? We got 46.2 from John Boy. 47.2. Anybody better than a 47.1 from Sam?
Gary, 47 flat.
47 flat from Gary. That seems to be the fastest lap. So Gary the fastest lap with a 47 flat, and Chef goes on to...
The highest time penalty is tied between Ugbar and Lauder with a 10-second time penalty.
Absolutely.
Close second by Melted Dazzler.
Yes, indeed. I didn't think that was a thing that we did pats on the back for, but the biggest time penalties, and a lot of time penalties in this race. Hopefully that'll be better for the next one. Just to finish off, so just in the comments, a couple of guys commented us on our great commentary tonight, Killian, and I must agree, it has been great. It has been great fun.
Yeah, well, they'll get to talk. They'll get to hear us talk to each other about gibberish and the race for the rest of the season. Yep. And if it's not me and you, it's going to be me and Dan, probably.
Absolutely. So if you want to hear some guys talking some more gibberish, we're back for the touring car next week at Donington Park. Same format, same time, same channel. So make sure you're there. Killian, your last thoughts of the evening. What have you got to say just to finish off the night?
This is going to be a great season ahead.
Absolutely, I totally agree with that. Killian, thank you very much for your company this evening. I very much enjoyed it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your company. Make sure you join us again next week for round 2. Have a great week. Thank you very much, guys. Loads of other sim racing on many channels. Make sure you check out all the good ones, and we'll see you on one of those channels here, there, or everywhere. So from me, from Killian, from G, and all the team, here at the SimZone. Thank you ever so much for joining in. We'll see you next time. Thank you.